Okay, hello everyone. This is a very quick but probably long video, and it's going to be a rough video. I don't think I'm going to do much editing, so you have to bear with me a little bit. I'm going to give you to go through the process of using SNDL, your SNDL account. I think I've already shared with you a video about using JSTOR. I'm going to go through the other platforms or portals, databases, and I'm going to leave JSTOR till the end because it's something you are already familiar with. I think most of you use JSTOR. This is why this video is necessary. It gives you an idea. Hopefully gives you an idea of how to use the other platforms. 3 or 4 other platforms that are equally interesting. And you know what's interesting, or what's the benefit of using and learning how to use all these platforms or portals is that there are some sources that you find in one platform and not in another. So this can help you make the best of all the sources. So when you get to your SNDL account, you should go to pluridisciplinaire. Okay, here you have most of the databases you are going to use. There's JSTOR here. Wow, it's what's wrong with this connection here? Speedtest.net. So you have JSTOR. We have already discussed that, but I'm going to go through Scopus, ProQuest, Scopus, Marifa is in Arabic, no need for that. Analytics, I haven't tried it, but I think it's enough to have JSTOR, ProQuest, Scopus, and Springer. Yes. So we are going to start with ProQuest. So sorry for the noise. As I said, it's a rough, spontaneous video. Wow, download speed 1 megabytes. 2. Anyway, so Scopus, ProQuest here. So basic search, advanced search. For better time management, I'd say you should use advanced search whenever it's possible. And I think all these databases have advanced search features. So let us say we're looking for COVID-19 and the media. Okay. And we are interested in conservative media, conservative American media. Or let us say, let me just check maybe another one. So let us say Trump, or American foreign policy, American foreign policy, and I'm interested in American foreign policy under Trump. Okay. American foreign policy, Trump. Okay. Now, what's the use of advanced search? I will tell you in a minute. So, you have in advanced search, you have some boxes, search boxes here. Oh, come on, I will modify search. Sorry. So advanced boxes. You can choose, for example, let us say I want American foreign policy, these expressions, American foreign policy and Trump, or foreign policy and Trump. Let's just say Trump here. Foreign policy and Trump to appear in the title. Okay, I'm selecting here abstract, author, document, title, document text, document title. Okay, document title. I want it to be in the title. I want the title to include foreign policy and to include Trump. Okay, or let us say Trump. I want it to include Trump at least, and in the text, so in the document title and in the text, I want the word foreign policy. So document text here, FT, document text. So this word foreign policy has to appear in the text, and also perhaps China or Russia. Let's say Russia. Russia, okay. Sorry. Okay. I can add new row. For example, foreign policy, Russia. I can add new row, and instead of and here, I can add or Russia. US-Russia relations, okay? Or Russia and the word relations. Maybe I won't find foreign policy, but US-Russia relations, for example. So, in my title, whenever you do any search, whether that's ProgWest or any other one, so ask yourself the question, as far as the keywords are concerned, which words need to appear in the title? Because you cannot have, if you're looking for something specific, for example here, Trump, Russia relations, attitude, whatever, Trump foreign policy, Trump administration foreign policy towards Russia, you might not find a title that's exactly like that. So ask yourself the question, what are the words that have to appear in the title so that the article or the source can be specific enough? Because you are looking for articles or sources that talk about Trump particularly. So it is possible to find something that talks about Trump and Russia, but maybe the title does not include Trump foreign policy and Russia. It might include Putin, for instance, and then foreign policy, Russia, Russian relations, whatever appears in the full text or in the abstract. Okay, so this is how you narrow down the search. This is better than, for example, including all these details in one field, okay, and having it like anywhere, appear anywhere. I want this text to appear anywhere. It's better to have to narrow down. And if you don't find any sources, you can go back do a broader search by clicking anywhere, but preferably start by narrowing down your search. Here, Russia relations also, I want it to appear in document text, okay? I want full text because I want full text. If I check peer-reviewed, this will only give you peer-reviewed scholarly journals. Don't do that. Just put here full text so that it doesn't give you sources where you only have the abstract, because there are sources that are not accessible, but you have the abstract anyway. So what's the point of wasting your time searching those abstracts? So maybe select full text so that it gives you only sources that you have access to directly. Here you can have audio and video. I suggest don't overlook this. Audio and video works can be as good and as informative and as rich in terms of raw material as written sources. So don't you underestimate that. Maybe I might suggest that when you want to do audio and video works, to search audio and video works, do it independently from written works. So devote some time, because you might find some interesting documentaries, interviews, that include information or insight you don't find in, especially contemporary issues. Okay, you might find material you don't find in in written sources. Okay, so audio. I usually, preferably, select books, conference papers, and proceedings, because you might find some interesting material in conferences that are not published as scholarly journal articles or books. And now dissertation and thesis, well, it's up to you. I don't know. Encyclopedia reference works, unless you're looking for definitions, concepts, and so on, don't select this. If you're looking for concepts, maybe you do separate search for concepts, and you select only encyclopedias and reference works. Reference works, this means dictionaries, maps, and so on. Government official publications, this depends on what kind of material you're looking for. If it is a primary source, that is a political document, for instance, and so on, you might select only this one, okay? Newspapers, magazines, well, this will preferably scholarly journals, okay? Newspapers and magazines, again, this would depend on the issue you are dealing with, okay? If it has to do about the coverage of a certain event, if it has to do about, with the media, if you are doing media studies, you might do a separate search, magazines and newspapers. So sometimes it is advisable to separate your search types, even if you use the same keywords. Let's say I'm using the same keywords here. I'm going to look for books, conferences, scholarly journals separately. Later on, I might look for magazines and newspapers separately. Why? Because magazines and newspapers have a different nature than scholarly journals. They might be, they are more likely to be biased. They are more likely to be partisan. They are more likely. So sometimes you might use them as primary sources. They can also be used as secondary sources. No problem. This depends on the topic. But maybe separate. Don't. So when you do books, conference papers, scholarly journals, this is one type of search. Audio and video, this is a separate type of search. And maybe blogs, podcasts, and websites, also separately. Encyclopedias for concepts, for definitions, and government official papers. You can add this to any collection, depending on whether you need it or not. Newspapers and magazines, preferably have them in a separate search. So here, the other ones will depend on whether you need them or not. So basically, these are the main ones. Document type, maybe leave it as it is, or article, bibliography, back matter, case study, business plan. Again, this would depend. Conference paper, this would depend on what you're looking for. I suggest don't do this because you have already narrowed down here. When you select scholarly journals, you are very likely to find articles, not advertisements or annual reports or other sources. Okay, so you have already done here. Document type is more specific, more precise than the source type. Okay, again, if you're looking for a very specific type of sources here, you can check. Otherwise, don't, because it's going to take you a lot of time. Each time you have to check again. So this one is more practical. Source type. Language, well, I don't know. If you speak Arabic, you can select Arabic. You never know. Okay. Basically, you have English to limit yourself to English sources, and then you select French or Arabic, if you speak one of these. Okay. Search. Okay, here you can search. Trump, Putin, and the future of U.S.-Russia relations. You see here the word Trump, because I only selected the word Trump in search in the title. So it's only the word Trump is highlighted here, because I said, please look for articles with the word Trump in the title. And whenever there is a word Trump in the title, you will have it highlighted here. Trump administration in U.S.-Russia relations, right? Also, what did I choose for the text, for document text? I chose foreign policy. If I chose Russia, I chose yeah. So here relations, also relations. So whenever the words I typed in the search of the full text search, whenever they appear, they are highlighted. So this is interesting to see which of these sources are more relevant. Okay. Yeah, this is it. So here you might have sort by relevance, sort by older first, more recent first. If you want a more contemporary, more recent articles, so you can more recent first. This depends again on what you are dealing with. So January 2023. It's not published yet. Anyway, so I have December 2022, not published yet. Well, all right. So scholarly, you can come again here and limit. Okay, limit to scholarly journals or to books or to conference papers and proceedings. You can always do that. So subject. So the sources I found, there are many subjects: history, studies, politics, political science, international relations. Okay, so you might say, okay, I'm just going to look for, I'm just going to include history, exclude studies, include politics, include political science, international relations. No, I don't want social sciences here. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in political science and so on. So exclude social sciences, economic conditions, business conditions. I'm not interested in that. Religion, economic development, cooperation. No, cooperation. Foreign policy. Literary criticism. Nah. Okay. Exclude that. Climate change. Exclude that. Okay. Anyway, so maybe just look for the ones you will include, because it's going to take you a lot of time. So globalization, include international. Okay, let's say, well, maybe this is time consuming, but if you are looking for something very specific, this will help you, especially if you find thousands of articles and then you say, oh, I'm getting lost. Thousands of articles, and I'm going to search all these articles to find the ones that are more relevant to my research. You will not be able to do that. You might spend some time here in this list here, checking, excluding and including, okay? And then you do it once and you apply it, and then it narrows down to the search will narrow down to the most relevant articles or sources that you're looking for. Okay, so you might need to spend some time narrowing down your search, but this will save you a lot of time looking through all the sources and all the articles. So you see how there are 20 pages, and each page contains a list of, there are 6 pages, and each page includes 20 articles. So no, I'm mistaken. See here, 48,000 results, and you can even narrow down. You can narrow down by subject here. Okay, by subject, or you can come here, select again. Okay, exclude or include or whatever. Document type, perhaps books 21,000. Articles. So on the left here, the menu, the sidebar, if we can call it so, on the left will always give you access to narrowing down options. Okay, so maybe sort by here, sort by relevance. And relevance is counted on the basis of the keywords you have typed. Okay, so full text PDF. So there is the clash of discourse regarding relations with Russia and new fault lines in the European Union. So here there is no Trump. 200s, 2011, Trump was not there yet. 2017, yeah, okay. 2018, Pakistan's growing relations with Russia. No, it's not. It's not U.S.-Russia relations. USA-Russia relations at the beginning of the 2018. Okay, so full text. Right-click, open a new tab. Always, never left-click when you have this many sources, because if you left-click, it takes you to another page, and then you might try to come back to original page, and then you get the search results lost, and it might take you to the home page. Okay, so be careful. Here it is. Here is the article. Then you can download it. Just be careful, because sometimes these articles are downloaded through numbers. So what do? You select the article title, copy it, download, paste. If there is a colon, 2 dots, you might need to omit it. If the quotation marks also, they do not go in titles, file titles, they're not accepted. So later on, because if you don't do this and you have many articles like this, like these ones here, the titles here are not clear. So you have to go back again and click every article and look for its title and rename it. So maybe name it from the beginning, okay, and save it with its original name, so that later on you can classify it. Okay. So here again. So quick look: American foreign policy and U.S. relations with Russia and China after September the 11th. So maybe I can go to the page of the article, or I can simply go to the and I can see how many citations, how many people cited this article. Okay, if many people cited it, it means it's a good article, but it doesn't matter for us. So this is the abstract, this is the full text, it's online, okay, and this is the PDF. So when you right click here, open a new tab, it takes you to the PDF version, and you can download it. Before downloading it, so copy, download, paste, Control V. There is column here. It's not going to be accepted, so omit it and add a dash or hyphen or whatever. Okay, so here again, you see how by narrowing down, you can always narrow down in ProQuest. Narrow down by subject, you can order by relevance, by older first, most recent first. Okay, you can click here, scholarly journals. I just want to look at scholarly journals, or maybe I just want to look at so okay, where are books? Where are books? They have gone. So I delete this, and then I choose books. I narrow down by books. You can always modify this filter. These are called filters, yeah. So here, National Perspectives on Russia, European Foreign Policy in the Making. It's probably a book chapter here. Or you have, it's a whole book. Then you have relevant chapters. Relevant chapters, right-click, always right-click. You can search in the book, you can download it on in PDF format. European Foreign Policy in the Making. Okay, so Routledge is a very famous publishing company. So you even have the highlighting of the keywords you have. Okay, so you can download full PDF, download full document. No, this is going to request an account. Let me just select PDF here. Citation. How do I download it? Let me go back. Download PDF chapter, read online, download book. Request account, sign in. Read online. I think if you want to read it online, you can do that. So you have table of contents here. Germany, France, okay. Anyway, sometimes it's difficult to download the PDF version, but it doesn't matter since it's always accessible online. Okay, let me check here if it's possible to have a chapter, relevant chapters. Anyway, so it's accessible online. So ProQuest, remember, if it's a book, make sure to have enough time to read it. Okay. Now, problem with the book is that if you cannot save it, how are you going to get back to it later on? Simply add it in the bookmarks. Okay, add it in bookmarks, and you can, for example, bookmarks. You have one folder for bookmarks. You can create another folder. Choose another folder, new folder. For example, research or theory or whatever. Okay, and bring it here. Bookmarks. Yeah, okay, bookmarks, research. Let me just, yeah, here, new folder. It doesn't matter. Bookmarks. Add it here in bookmarks. So research, save. So let me check here. Research, done. So it is going to be saved in the folder of bookmarks. Let's see, download PDF chapter. Interesting. Here it is. I didn't see it. I think you can download chapters here. So download PDF, 4 common spaces. So where is it? Where is it? Download PDF. Left click. Left click. If you want to download a specific chapter, you need to left click first. So ProQuest, remember, if you want to download specific chapter, left click. I hope it doesn't. Oh, interesting. It has downloaded the whole chapter. So if you want to do it chapter by chapter, I think it works. And just choose the ones that are more relevant, the most relevant to you. So let me see. Theorizing EU-Russia relations. And I think the book title is, you're going to find it here. Now the problem here is that I have the chapter, but later on I might find it difficult to know which book it is from. So, interesting. So this is how you do. You downloaded the chapter. Later on, when you want to reference the source, you will reference the book, not the chapter. Okay. So what are you going to do? So here, Theorizing Russia Relations, this is a chapter. And the book, below here, at the bottom, there is a link. You hover with your mouse, and it gives you access to the link. So you click the link, just in case. And you have the source. Okay, you have the source. So read online. And what you do, you take the bibliographical information from here. Okay. So Routledge advances, maybe the second, where is the copyright page? Copyright page, here it is. Copyright page. So published 2010, Routledge, Park Square, what is that, USA? Park Square, no, Park Square, I think it's in the UK. Park Square, Milton Park, Oxon. You can add Madison, New York, whatever, okay? You can just say New York, 2010, right? It's published in the same year in different places. Just in case. So, I'm sorry for speaking maybe too quickly. You can re-watch the video if you want. I just want to save time and share with you as many tips and tricks as possible. So there are other sources, there are other websites for downloading books also, if you want. But as far as articles are concerned, ProQuest is an interesting platform. So let's check here. Books. And it gives you more access to filters and to refining your search better than other websites. Let us go now to ProQuest Springer. There are a few things I'm not going to repeat because they are very similar across different platforms. I don't know if they have this advanced search. Springer. So let's say Trump, Russia. By relevance, you can here include preview only content. There is content that is named preview only. It means you can only see the abstract. You cannot access the content. So maybe uncheck this so that it doesn't bother you with a lot of content that you are not going to benefit from. So Trump's America and international relations in the Indo-Pacific. So this is what theoretical analysis of changes and continuities. So this might be if you have this, if you have a picture here, cover page, I think this means it's a book. Even if you don't, it's part of a book. You can come here, chapter, narrow down. Again, the sidebar on the left. Book, chapter, or articles. Preferably choose chapter, not book, because I don't know. Let's see, book and chapter. Okay, so here, articles. Donald Trump, globalization and modernity. You can also narrow down later on. So we narrowed down by content type. I can still delete this and choose another type, books or book chapters. Also, you have disciplines. So here you cannot do advanced search, but you can narrow down. You can apply filters, and this is interesting. Okay, disciplines, subdisciplines, English, German language, not really necessary here. But let's say I want political science and international relations. I don't want social sciences. I don't care about Trump's economic philosophy, social science. I'm more interested in political science and international relations. So I even narrow down. So you have 460 pages. So without narrowing down, you see there are 1,000. Let me check this just a minute to tell you. So include preview only content. So there is much content that you're only going to see in terms of abstract, not full text. So I uncheck this. So it narrowed down to 105,000. Anyway, it's better. Also, by narrowing down in terms of discipline or subdiscipline, more international relations, or maybe discipline, political science and international relations. So you have 461. So I narrowed down. Okay. So the more you narrow down, the easier it becomes for you to look through the articles and see which ones are worth downloading, right? And also here, if you see a trade that interests you, you don't need to go right-click and check the whole article online, especially like this way. You're not going to read it. You will need it. You need a PDF version. Okay, so perhaps it's better to come here, download PDF, right-click, open it in your tab, and then it gives you the PDF version. And then if you want to go back to the source, you can still click here, the link. Just make sure the original source is accessible. Otherwise, an interesting article, you read it, you finish reading it, and then you don't know where you got it from, okay? Or you can simply right-click, save link as PDF. The title already appears here. Maybe Trump, Trade War, America. Delete the first part. Okay, and then save. All right, let's see here, chapters or books. Where is chapter? Again, the same thing, chapter. You can also add conference paper, okay? Chapter, the same thing, discipline, political science, economics. Let's say I'm looking for economics, okay, and narrow down. So I have better, I narrow down and I will find it easier to. And I think the more you go, there are pages. Each page contains about 20 articles or 20 references. And it tells you here it's chapter, okay, at the beginning it's chapter. Of course, we have narrowed down, we have filtered, we narrowed down to chapter, so all sources here appear chapter. But if you don't narrow down, it tells you whether it's a chapter or an article or an entire book, okay? So let's see if it doesn't give you, for entire books, it doesn't give you the direct access to the entire book. This is perhaps why chapters might be more, or might be easier to, I see here, it's 129 euros. So preferably select chapters and articles instead of books. As far as Springer is concerned, for ProQuest, you can select the book and then download separate chapters. Okay. I don't know if there is a limit. There might be a limit. Maybe some websites. ProQuest, I didn't try it. I didn't try to see if there is a limit. But some websites give you a limit in terms of how many chapters you can download each day. So you have to come the next day. And this is okay because you're not going to download all the chapters. Download the ones that are more that you find more relevant, and then what you do is read them. In the meantime, the next day you will have access to other sources. ProQuest, Springer. Okay, let's see Scopus. I think Scopus should be the last choice because it requires you to install, and I did it here. Scopus Download Manager, Document Download Manager, but it's not a big deal. So Scopus here, you can narrow down again article title, abstract, keywords, and you can just say abstract or article title. I want Trump and Russia, the words Trump and Russia to appear in the title. Trump, Russia to appear in the title. And I can add the search field. And I want the text or the abstract to include, for example, foreign policy. And then I search. So you can add search fields. And then when you have, here you don't have many sources, but anyway, when you have the sources here, you can narrow down, you can filter, you can use more filters. Open access, so limit to open access. Is there a possibility to modify search here? I don't think so. Download. So view at publisher, and Scopus, what Scopus does, which is something I don't really like, is that it takes you to external publishers, and your chances of getting access to the full text will depend on what the website is. Okay. Here it says open access, no problem. This is Russian. I don't need it. Well, I think I've already made a video about JSTOR, but if you have any issues with JSTOR, if you want me to make a more detailed version of the video, just let me know. Okay. Also, academia, if you want to, I see here this is an external source. I wouldn't suggest Scopus unless you don't find what you're looking for in the other sources. I'll give it a shot anyway. You never know. So let us just omit this one and search again. Trump, Russia. Just give me something with Trump and Russia in the title. Here you have more. So 9 sources. If you remember, I think when we did search in ProQuest, we had more references. Here we have about less than 40 because here you can narrow down also by open access, by green. So green, I think green is accessible, and open access too. Bronze, hybrid, gold, I don't think so. So open access, I think it's open even if you don't have an account. And green is only accessible through an account. And I think, and here you are using the account associated with SNDL. It's like a group account accessible to many users at the same time. You can narrow down by year here. You can narrow down by author's name, by subject area. So it's interesting that in these platforms, even after you have already done the search and you have the results displayed, you can still narrow down by topic. If you don't want social sciences, if you don't want all this, you just want arts and humanities, for instance. Yeah, limit to. Then maybe update. You refresh. I don't know how this works. You can art and humanities. You can click here. Sorry, art and humanities. Click here. It gives you only art and humanities. Business management. Economics, social sciences. Okay. Subject area. You have many other criteria for narrowing down. So that's it for these sources, these databases or bases or platforms, portals, if you want to call them so. So try to see if you're just using JSTOR, try Springer, ProQuest, and Scopus. I think among the three, ProQuest is perhaps the best. I don't know, it might even be better than JSTOR. I'm a JSTOR addict. I don't know why. So good luck. If you have any questions, just let me know concerning these platforms.